Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Wednesday, March 27th, 2024, post market wrap up here. We have a lot to talk about. Let's start off with this. This is a disaster. And the worse it gets, and we have to talk about that, the higher this market is going. Does that sound familiar to you? Because you and I have outlined that for I don't know how long ago. We said that's exactly how this would play out. Imagine my shock. Imagine your shock here. The S&P 500 today closed at a new all-time record, and it's not over. Ignore. Look, I love all of you people, and I mean this truly. Okay. Um, I read through my emails and stuff. Greg, so and so said this and so that. What do you think about this? And this call for a crash tomorrow. And this what? Ignore it all. I know what you're doing. You're laughing, okay? Because did you see the 10-year yield today? We're now dropping, getting as you and I would have expected to see. We nailed this again to the freaking wall. Why? Because we are so far ahead of the curve on all this. It's not even funny. The mechanism behind this is so glaring in our face here. You know, it's just not going to stop. The mechanism of suppressed rates, we haven't seen anything yet. This is going to really start to get going here. June, as I've been telling all of you now, you remember I was a little kind of off May, June, something like that. I think June is a lock. The market's finally coming around to it. And as you and I said would happen, we would more than likely see the 10-year yield come down. What does that mean? Risk is dropping. Although, if you were to look at the MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, it's still in a high risk zone, but the market's comfortable here. Okay, this is not a crash indicator. You have to look. There are so many pieces of information that we have to put together, and then we have to observe this whole thing as it's playing out to gauge as to where it's going to go. And there's no doubt. I mean, you and I mean, we've been so spot on with this. It's just frankly unfreaking believable. But like I've been telling you for the longest time, if we understand, you and me, that cash moves through these markets in predictable patterns, by and large, we can't lose here. There's no guesswork. Do you realize the power that gives you and I? If you and I understand that the crash that everyone's talking about, and it's going to happen, there's just no doubt about it. They're not done. They're not done by a long shot. We'll see what happens after the presidential selection here. Until that time, this is going to be a free-for-all on a grand scale with regard to how this market performs. And rate suppression, bond yield suppression, central banks buying more debt. This issue of debt is really something you and I have been covering for over 10 years now. BlackRock warning again for the second time in less than a week about this situation. They have to do this. You have to understand these institutions here, they have to be able to say, we told all of you what was going to happen. Well, if you didn't listen and you wanted us to do this, that, and the other thing, well, it's on you. So, JP Morgan and all these other mega institutions have been warning. And we got a couple of things that we got to talk about because they're absolutely spot on with regard to BlackRock and JP Morgan. But again, you and I have called this so long ago. This is not I know you're laughing. You watch this stuff, you put on the freaking propaganda ministry, and they're out here, pulling their nonsensical garbage, rectal fist feeding, elbow deep to everybody. And, you're laughing. You're laughing at it. Anyway, so with that, market, new record high for the S&P 500. As I said, 10-year yield coming down. Dollar flat on a relative strength basis today. Okay, the drivers of this market remain intact. That means we haven't seen anything yet with record highs. So ignore anybody. Look, even people who I respect a lot have jumped on that bandwagon there, and they're going to be proven wrong again. And I hate it. I hate it because it keeps people fearful and keeping people afraid guarantees one thing. They're going to lose, okay? They become paralyzed. They can't act. You and I, again, understand the situation here. Why markets are doing what they're doing and how the mechanism behind it is driving this market even higher. All it's doing is creating insane distortions across the spectrum of asset classes with regard to price action. And this phenomenon is going to continue until they're ready to pull the plug, and they're not ready yet. Understand, central banks are buying it all. This is their goal. You know that to be the lenders and buyers of last resort. This world is run and governed by these institutions. It's not the Bidens or the Trumps or kings or queens or whoever it may be. It's these institutions who dictate our lives to us, unfortunately, via the mainstream propaganda ministry, who all get the same scripting. You all know that, but they are forcing us to participate in their perverted, twisted system. That's fact. We cannot be free. You understand that? Look, I'm losing my mind over here. We cannot be a free people anywhere around the world if we are forced to live under their rulership. That should make sense to you. They run the system. They run the economy, the financial markets, the financial system. What else is there to say? Anyway, so let's I guess we'll move forward with this kind of stuff. So with regard to BlackRock, all right, we got a warning about the global debt problem issue, however you want to phrase this, just a few days ago. And now we got another one. So BlackRock's Larry Fink is worried. He's worried that snowballing U.S. debt is going to get out of control. How about it is out of control? Okay. And there's no stopping this guy. Let me explain to you. This guy, Larry Fink here, he's not stupid. Okay. He knows exactly what you and I know, and probably a lot more than that, because he's what I would call an insider of the highest order. He knows what's going on. He knows what they're trying to do to us. But you see, we can't get truth from anyone. Although, you know, I guess I'll give him a little bit of credit here, saying he's worried about snowballing debt. This is deliberate. And as you know, as we have called again right here, so-called governments are policymakers that are looking out for every single one of us. You know they are, because that's just the way it is, right? They're destroying us all. They're wiping out the economy. They're creating a neo-feudal system, again, of the highest possible order. And they're destroying all of us here. They're playing right into the hands of the central banks. Period. The end. And here in the United States, that's all they do. Thank you, sir. Oh, thank you for your service. You know, when he walks into a room, they genuflect as the thing, creature, Powell, vomitous mass that he is, walks into the room. Make it up. Make any of this stuff up. So let's, so now we understand, okay, BlackRock, warning. Okay, warning, duh. This thing is a nightmare. It's a nightmare scenario on an unprecedented scale. And yes, this entire thing is going to melt down on a scale that people are not going to freaking believe. But again, the big crash that everyone's warning you about for years now that hasn't happened, and they've all been 100% wrong, they're not telling you where it's going to begin nor end, and it's going to be the debt market. Forget the freaking stock market. The stock market, a lot of people are writing to me, Greg, you're telling people to get into derivatives by buying an exchange-traded fund. The entire stock market. Listen to these words, because no one else is going to say this to you. The entire stock market, because it derives value from what's happening in the debt market, is itself a derivative. You understand? The entire stock market derives value from action that's happening in the debt market. So that makes the entire thing a derivative. And as you all know, what they're moving to is a new system where everything is going to be tokenized. Everything is going to be a derivative. They're even going to trade human lifespans. You and me, they're going to take side bets on how long we're going to live. Believe me, this is going to happen. It's already going on. Your employer, most of you don't even know this, but your employer takes out a life insurance policy on you. Did you know that? Oh, yeah. If you work for any big corporation, they have a life insurance policy on you. And if you die, they get paid off. How do you like that? You think I'm wrong? Ask your employer. Oh, man, I tell you, it's just vomitous, this whole freaking thing. So let's talk about JP Morgan. So JP Morgan has done this in the past, and they're now warning again about energy prices moving forward. Now, what they're doing here is they're distracting you. All right. So they're pointing their fingers at Russia. Russia. Imagine my shock. Oh, really? You mean it's not the fact that the Federal Reserve has been dissolving the dollar, evaporating its purchasing power, and they're about to do it to a much greater degree moving forward? You got to be kidding me. They can't, you see, they can't do this. But at least they can say, we warned you. We warned you that energy prices and energy is commodity. Okay. As you and I, again, a lot of people called me out. Oh, Greg, you're wrong. You're wrong about commodities, Greg. Oh, really? Let's see how that plays out moving forward, because these people don't understand that the environment we have is clearly risk on. Central banks are going to make sure this risk on environment goes on and on and on as they keep rates suppressed here, dilute the value of the currency, destroy everybody in the meantime, of course, except the rich and the super rich who are going to benefit from this stock market. They're also going to be the first people out of it. But you see, you and I, we got this covered from every angle. Every freaking angle you think about. Excuse me. Oh, what does that mean when your nose is itchy? You're going to get into a fight or an argument? Good. Bring it on. Or is that when your ear itches? I have no idea. It's one of these silly freaking things. So JP Morgan warning on higher energy prices moving forward. Mostly blaming Russia here. What should you expect? You can't make this stuff up. Now, here's another thing I want to talk about. So mortgage demand. It's baffling these people why mortgage demand continues to crater. First of all, home affordability is at a record low. Number two, the other phenomenon that's going on here that you're not being allowed to know is, again, credit card debt, household debt, personal debt is skyrocketing as people who were prior members of the middle class. You and I called this out years ago. They were going to try to claw themselves out of it by burying themselves in more debt. It's an incredible phenomenon what we're seeing here. These people are guaranteeing themselves a front row seat on the roller coaster into the pit of hell with regard to destitution because they're making themselves slaves to debt. Now, these same people who would love to buy a home, they can't do it because, again, they're taking on debt in every other type of form that they can dream about. You see what's going on here? When people get depressed, anxious, or looking for some kind of an escape, there's many ways people do this. Gambling, sexual addictions, all kinds of addictions across the board here. People are grasping for some type of satisfaction and immediate gratification. You understand what I'm talking about here? So what they're doing is saying, you know what, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy myself a brand new car. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it, but I'm going to do it because it's going to make me feel real good to drive around in my brand new car and smell it. It smells really good in here. And I'm going to go out at the same time while I'm doing that. And I'm going to take out another loan to buy something else and then another loan to buy something else. And they bury themselves. And now they can't afford a home and they got to become rent slaves forever. You understand what's going on? Do you see what's happening here? You can't make any of this stuff. It's impossible to do. But this is the environment they are creating here. It's out of freaking control. And no one is going to save you here. You know what? Nobody, people. I know a lot of you think that come the selection, that there's going to be a man God created. Yes, he's going to be put there as he sells his Bibles to raise money at $66 per Bible. And it's going to make all the difference in the world. Meanwhile, this guy just became $5 billion richer this week alone here. Okay. You have no idea. First of all, I have to say this. Trump is probably one of the smartest guys on the face of the earth. He's leveraged this right versus left thing perfectly. And now he's getting paid off for it perfectly. And if he's not selected as president, which it doesn't look like he's going to be, he's going to become even more rich. That's all his goal is. He wants to be one of the richest men on the earth. Now he's reached super billionaire status. All on the backs of people having their minds twisted. That's all that's going on here. It's freaking crazy. All right, people, look. This is the situation. That's where we are. Okay, freaks sitting behind resolute desks, brain dead people who don't know if they're alive or dead. It's amazing to me, really. Even members of my own family, they're so deluded. I have to say that, and they're probably watching right now. But that's okay. They really do believe that the world is run by brain dead presidents who don't know who can't walk and chew gum at the same time. And I mean literally in the sense, this is the guy that really is controlling the world. He's the ultimate power. What he says goes. Really? You believe that? How about no freaking way? Okay. You can't make this stuff up. It's impossible to do. But I guess that's, people, again, they're just grasping at things. They're looking for some type of a solution that ain't there. This is not, nothing is what it seems to be. And you all know that. Anyway, look. Before this goes on, Grant, thank you. I appreciate that. Is there anything that you want to cover here? Again, I'm getting blamed for not answering questions from people. And I don't see them. If I do see it, I'll answer it. Anyway, here. If you don't have anything that, I think we covered all. That's what I'm saying. You people, to me, are the smartest people out here. There's just no doubt about it. You and me have been ahead of the curve on this for a very, very long time. And no matter how good we call it, we still got the detractors. I know that. And whether they're real, whether they're bots, whether they, I understand too, when you catch a lot of flack, like I've been catching lately, that means you're over the target, So I get it. Believe me. Yes, JEPQ. I own JEPQ. I'm buying more of JEPQ. I think we need to buy more of it. I mean, again, look, you need to be long this market. My Bitcoin exposure, Bitcoin is my largest cryptocurrency holding right now. Well, I was looking for an opportunity to buy some more if we had dropped, but I have not done that. If I do buy some more, I will let you know on that. Look, you must, again, take action. Bet against the situation here. Bet against the debt. Become your own central bank. Does that sound familiar to you? I've been telling you that for over 10 years, people. It should make sense to you. I know there's a lot of gold and silver haters. Let them hate it all they want to. Beautiful. That just means there's more for you and me to get at what I believe are incredibly suppressed prices here. Honestly, become your own CUDA. Yeah. Sold my CUDA. You all know that. Unfortunately, I had enough of that car. It was a gorgeous car. My 68 Hemi CUDA. Broke the transmission. Broke the engine. I broke everything. I just couldn't do it anymore. I also sold this one. This is my biggest regret. That one. My purple Camaro. You see that? Remember that one? That was a hell of a car. And did everything right. But my Copo, this thing is crazy. While we're talking about cars here, just real quick, I want to give a shout out to my friend Andrew from the Tesla Plaid channel. This guy is a real sportsman. There's a lot of YouTubers who, especially with these Dodge Hellcats and Demons and stuff, they jump for joy. And they make YouTube videos. Oh, I beat his best ET. I mean, look, good. That shows that he's actually doing something right here. But this guy Andrew is a good sportsman. He gives people head starts. Okay, he's not looking to not race cars that are faster than his car. He deliberately races cars that are faster than his. It's just for fun. But these people here, they're out of control. If they get off so much on beating his Tesla, why don't you come up against my Copo? Then we'll see how much you smile about it. All right. That's an open invitation to anyone who wants to take me on. I'm over at Bradenton Motorsports Park every freaking Thursday. All right. Open invitation. All right. Look, with that said, I'm sorry I get ahead of myself here from time to time. But anyway, it just gets to me when people, I hate it when people do this to people. Hey, let me give you an example of this. This is a guy. I don't even know the name of his channel. Look what he does. Look what he does. Red Eye on Nitrous beats Tesla Plaid's best ET. You're smiling now, dude. Why don't you line up against my Copo? Let's see how much you're smiling then. I don't think you will be. Something tells me no. All right, look, I'm gonna get out of here, people. Look, love all of you from the heart. I mean that. Thanks for dealing with me and getting out of control. This stuff gets under my skin. It drives me crazy. It gives me a headache. Raceway Park. What a shame that place, that's where I started. I started drag racing there decades ago when I was a kid. Anyway, look, we got this. We got this down. And I don't think we could possibly be in a better spot, you and me. All right. Now, with that said, we're going to get going out of here. Unfortunately, racing for tonight at Showtime got rained out, so I will not be running. I run into you guys and girls come visit me at the track. I love that. That's why I say where I'm going to be. Tomorrow, I will be at Bradenton as long as it don't rain. So you know where to find me. Everybody. People that want to race me, that's where I'm there. You want to come say hello, that's fine too. Whatever you want, I'm there. All right. I'm an easy guy. Um, my first race car. Wow, man. I would have to say that was a 69 Camaro 454 that my dad had, but there was just more than a street car, a pure race car. My first pure race car. Wow, I'd have to sit and think about that. I've had so many, and I'm old, so my mind kind of goes out as I'm getting older, you know. I've had them all: Chevelles and Roadrunners and 55 Chevy big block cars and six-pack Cudas, Challengers, you name them. I've had them. I've had them all. It's been an addiction to me for a very, very long time. It's a good one in my view. Again, people, thank you for being here. Thanks for your friendship. Thanks for your love. Thanks for your thumbs up, your support. I will see all of you tomorrow for my morning report. And I want to hear from you about this stuff that we've covered here. My first guitar was, some kind of like cheapy, it was an electric guitar. It was an Excelsior. You remember that brand? I don't even think they make them anymore. My first guitar was an electric, a red Strat type thing. It was an Excelsior. My uncle had taken an interest in me playing because he was phenomenal. And he's the one that kind of like, I don't know, showed me the ropes a little bit. My Uncle Patrick, God rest his soul. He unfortunately passed away a long time at a very young age. It's very sad. But yeah, that was my first guitar, 69 Strat. Anyway, I've had tons of those things too. Yes, Bradenton, Florida. Copo. It's a Copo, Central Office Production Order Camaro. It's a factory-built race car. Go look these things up. They only make 69 per year. They don't even make them anymore. This is the last year. Mine's a 2017. Anyway, yes. That's going to be it, people. All right, I'm out of here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And I will see you tomorrow in the morning.